Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and I have another review for a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX volume. This is for Volume 2, matter of fact. And I read Volume 1 months ago. I've had Volume 2 from the library for a while, like a couple of months, and I just keep forgetting to take it back. So I've got that in Volume 3. I'm almost done with Volume 3. Probably going to finish it this week, God willing. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and make a video about it, and of course I finally finished it. The story concept, of course, this is written after the anime had started. It's written by Kazuki Takahashi, and the art is done by Naoyuki Kageyama, which I'm terrible at names. Anyway, this was so much better, far and away better than Volume 1. Volume 1 was good. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit for what it was, even though it seemed like it was duel after duel after duel, but it's Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I mean? Like, that's what's gonna happen. I like the Academy idea. This book was mostly a flashback book, which was surprising to me. It kicked off something cool by the end, but it was mostly a flashback book. Basically, we talk about Jaden's past because Chaz, the fella from the first book that has the spiky hair, but that's like saying in a world of Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody has spiky hair. He's the one with the like trench coat looking thing from the Blue Clan. Essentially, he finds out that Jaden's deck has to belong to some really famous duelist from back in the day. And we do a whole flashback arc to how Jaden got his cards, his deck, because it's a very special deck. And Jaden tells the story, not really, we just see it, about how he went to the hospital from like breaking his leg or his foot or something. And while he was in there, he met an older guy who he looks like he's in his 20s or like in his 30s or something. But I'm assuming he's supposed to be like 17, 18, something like that. I think his name was Koyo, I think. I don't remember. Too lazy to look it up. Anyway, he meets this guy, who is apparently a famous duelist before Jaden really knew what dueling was. And the guy shows him how to do dueling with the cards and all of that. And this guy would go on to championships. He was probably the master, basically. But Jaden begins to become really good friends with this guy who's a lot older than him. And it tells the story about him being in the hospital, but we all thought it was kind of weird because Jaden never really asks what's wrong with the guy. And we don't know if it's like a terminal illness. I'm assuming it is because he's not wearing like a cast or anything. And there are some hints throughout this book that are kind of answered more in Volume 3 of what happened with him. The kind of terminal illness that may actually be affecting that poor guy. But it's kind of a story about friendship between that guy and Jaden and how Jaden got into this stuff, how he got his deck. It might not sound interesting at all, but dude, let me tell you, it is very emotional. It is a very emotional story, and I loved it. I thought it was a great read, definitely a big recommendation. I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! GX would be like a lot of other sequel series like Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball Z for that matter that would go on for like 20 volumes. Apparently GX is like 9 books, and that's it. Which really surprised me. I didn't know that, didn't expect that, so maybe I can still get all of these from the library. Because boy, I looked online, and this series must be out of print, and they are pricey for some of the later volumes, which I am not about to pay. Unless I can get a book lot, it ain't happening. Anyway, that's the general gist of the book. And it was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super fun to watch, or to read. We kind of have a story kicking off in here later on where there's going to be a big island-wide tournament that some Americans came from overseas. Cyrus, the little best friend of Jaden with the glasses, his brother comes back to the island after being a foreign exchange student, I believe is what they said. But yeah, they're going to have this big tournament that Volume 3 is really about, but a couple of those beginning duels are at the end of this book. Dude, that stuff was great. I was so into this book, especially the emotional involvement for Jaden's character and that guy that he got his deck from. I loved it. I thought this was an excellent read. The art is just as good as usual. Man, I loved it. I thought it was such a good, fun story. I never thought I would like Yu-Gi-Oh! Books as much as I do. I remember loving the anime growing up, loving the card game growing up. But, dude, this series is good. I have a lot to recommend here if you haven't seen it before. Anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Volume 2, have you read it? What do you think about it? Have you read GX as a series? What do you think about that? do people consider this the best Yu-Gi-Oh sequel series, or is it 5Ds, which I've heard is supposed to be better? I don't know the general consensus. Let me know what you think down below, if you've read any of these or watched them or what. I'd love to hear all that down below. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. I plan on trying to get a review for Volume 3, like I said, up pretty soon, and we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, thank you all, God bless you again, catch you later, and goodbye.